Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and stay tuned for amazing content. Let's go. The €1 cent coin, introduced for circulation when euro coins and banknotes were launched in cash form in January 2002, although many coins bear the 1999 date used for issue authoring, is the smallest value and smallest sized circulating denomination of the euro. It measures 16.25 mm across, is 1.67 mm thick, weighs about 2.30 grams, has a smooth edge and is made of copper-covered copper-plated steel that gives it its distinctive reddish color. Those technical specifications are standard for all Eurozone member state issues of this denomination. Visually, the coin has two clear sides, with different purposes. The common European side was designed by Luc Lux of the Royal Belgian Mint and shows a small globe with the then EU15 highlighted, sitting alongside the large numeral 1, and the words Euro cent, all set against 6 thin diagonal lines terminating in 12 stars. The common side creates instant recognizability across all member states while also signaling the coin's shared European identity. The opposite side, the national obverse, is left to each issuing country and therefore provides enormous visual variety. Some nations chose national emblems, architectural monuments, or stylized flora and fauna, while states with monarchies often show a portrait of their head of state. These national faces allow the same technical piece to tell dozens of different national stories at a glance, and that variety is one reason collectors enjoy assembling multi-country sets of 1-cent coins. Historically, the 1-cent and 2-cent coins were included to protect consumers against wholesale rounding up of prices during the currency changeover, the idea being that exact prices should remain possible, but practical economics and retail friction meant that, over time, several Eurozone countries have adopted cash rounding for small cash purchases. Under these schemes, the final cash total of a transaction is rounded to the nearest 5 cents. Which reduces the everyday need for 1 and 2 cent coins even while leaving them legal tender. Belgium, Finland, Ireland, Italy, the Netherlands, Slovakia and a handful of other countries either practice rounding in regular retail contexts or mint only token quantities of these coins for collectors rather than wide circulation. This dual reality, official legal tender status but declining physical use in some markets, means that in many places you'll rarely get 1-cent pieces as change, yet you can still find them in circulation produced by other countries or by older stockpiles. From a manufacturing and numismatic perspective, the coin is straightforward but not without interest. Copper-plated steel means the core is magnetic and vulnerable to corrosion if the plating is worn or breached, which makes storage and handling important for collectors who want to keep pieces in VF very fine or UNC uncirculated condition. Common collecting advice is to avoid cleaning coins aggressively. Cleaning scratches the copper layer and lowers value. Store them individually or in soft holders to prevent contact marks, and keep them in low humidity conditions to reduce any tendency for the steel core to oxidize should the plating fail. Numismatic values for ordinary circulated 1-cent coins are typically just face value, but certain specific issues, mint marks, low mintage national variations, or minting errors can attract premiums. For example, collectors sometimes pay notably more for unusual national designs in brilliant uncirculated sets, or for coins with die errors and misstrikes that are verified by reputable auction houses or specialist dealers. Always consult price guides and recent auction results before assuming a rare value. If you're preparing a spoken 10-minute segment about the 2002 1-cent coin, you can structure the narration to begin with the basic, what is it, technical facts, size, weight, metal, move into the story of the euro's introduction and why such small denominations were included. Then describe the common side by Luc Lux and give a few vivid national obverse examples mentioning, for instance, how different countries use portraits, national birds, historic buildings or coats of arms before covering modern usage patterns like cash rounding and the effect that has had on day-to-day circulation. Follow that with practical collecting tips, handling, storage, how to spot collector-grade examples versus average pocket change, and finish with a short anecdote about particularly interesting mint errors or low mintage national releases that will intrigue viewers without overstating values. This art keeps listeners engaged while delivering both factual detail and human interest. For on-screen or social media use, pair your narration with close-up footage or high-resolution images showing the copper color of the coin edge and face. a slow pan over the globe and numeral on the common side, and cutaways to different national reverses to underline variety, add callouts for the technical specs in a lower third so viewers get quick facts while you expand verbally. If you want titles, thumbnails or hashtags for a video upload, short, searchable options work best. Examples: 2002 1 cent euro coin. Full history and collector's guide. 1 euro cent 2002 specs, rarity and care, and hashtags like hashtag Eurocoins, hashtag coin collecting number 1 cent, hashtag numismatics, hashtag Euro history. Practically speaking, because the face value is tiny, any claim about a high market price requires verification. If you do encounter a seller or buyer claiming an extraordinary value for a particular 2002 1 cent, check mint records, mintage numbers and recent auction sales before repeating the claim on camera. In short, the 2002 1 euro cent is a small but informative piece of modern monetary history. Technically simple, 16.25 mm, 1.67 mm thick, 2.30 grams, copper-plated steel, artistically split between a common European reverse by Luke Lukes and a wide range of national obverses. Socially contentious in its low-value status, prompting cash rounding policies in several member states, and modest in collector value except for certain well-documented varieties and errors. A perfect subject for a 10-minute deep dive because it allows you to move easily from hard specs to human stories about design, national identity and the economics of small change. If you'd like, I can now A. Convert the paragraph into a ready-to-read voiceover script with timing marks. B. Produce a slightly shorter version for a 60 to 90-second social clip. Or C. List specific midmarks and notable 2002 national obverse designs for Germany, Italy, Spain, etc. with exact mintage numbers and known error examples. Tell me which of those you want and I'll produce it next in the same style.